Hello everyone, welcome back to Literature to Fluency channel. I am Aishwarya and welcome to day 2 of our 90-day UGC Net English Literature Marathon. So if you are new to this series, let me quickly tell you what we are doing. For the next 90 days, I am going to upload one video every day to help you prepare for UGC Net English Literature. So our goal is very simple. We are going to understand the syllabus, study material, the important topic, authors, learn the important authors and works, practice the previous year question paper, revise regularly, and finally test ourselves. This is what we are going to do in our channel. Yesterday in day 1, we discussed how to prepare for UGC NET in 3 months. So today, before we actually enter the world of English literature, I want you to understand the complete syllabus. The complete syllabus, I'm going to take you into it. So take a notebook and write this heading, okay? UGC Net English Literature 90-day marathon. This is what you are going to write in your page. This is going to be your marathon notebook. Now, UGC Net has 2 papers. I think you know it. Paper 1 is common for all subjects and paper 2 is your subject specific paper where you have to study a lot. Since our subject is English, our main focus in this marathon will be paper 2 English. But don't worry, okay, we will also include paper 1 preparation at the appropriate stage of our marathon. And now we are going to see paper 2. Now let's understand the 10 major units of UGC Net English. I want you to listen carefully because these 10 units are the most foundation of our entire preparation. So unit 1 is drama, unit 2 is poetry, unit 3 is fiction and short story, okay? And if you take unit 4, it is non-fictional prose. Unit 5 is language and linguistic. Unit 6 is English in India. Unit 7 is cultural studies. And Unit 8 is literary criticism. Unit 9 is literary theory. And Unit 10 is research methods. Okay, Unit 10 is research methods. So let me repeat them once again. You keep it in mind. First one is drama, poetry, fiction and short story, okay, and the fourth one is non-fictional prose, and the fifth one is language and linguistics, and the sixth one is English in India, seventh one is cultural studies, eighth one is literary criticism, ninth one is literary theory, and the final one, that is 10th, is research methods. Now let's understand what we are going to study in these units, okay? Unit 1 is drama. Here you will study the development of drama, the important dramatic traditions, the major playwrights, important plays, dramatic forms and important concepts. Of course, Shakespeare will be a major part of our preparation, but we are not going to study Shakespeare. We are going to study a lot, okay? We are not going to study Shakespeare alone, we are going to study a lot. We will understand drama chronologically from early periods to modern drama. So this is the part for unit 1. The next one is unit 2, poetry. This is a very vast area. We will travel through the major periods of English poetry, beginning with Old English and moving through the Middle English. This is what we are going to do. Then we are going to see Renaissance, metaphysical poetry, neoclassical poetry, romantic poetry, Victorian poetry and modern poetry. We will study important poets, poems, movements, poetic forms and literary terms in this area. And remember one important point. Don't memorize a poet's name separately. You have to understand. Always connect the poet with the period, movement and a major work. That will make your preparation much stronger. You don't forget. So now let us dive into unit 3, that is fiction and short story. Here we will study the development of the English novel and short story. We will discuss the major novelists and their important works. This is what we are going to do in this. We will look at the authors such as Daniel Defoe, Samuel Richardson, Henry Fielding, Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, the Bronte sisters, George Eliot, Thomas Hardy, James Joyce, Virginia Woolf and many others. But remember, our purpose is net preparation. We are not going to read every novel completely, okay? You have to understand. We are going to focus on the author, work, characters, themes, literary techniques, periods, and important facts. This is what we are going to do. So, Unit 4 is non-fictional prose, okay? Non-fictional prose. Here we will study important form of prose such as essays, biography, autobiography, diaries, letter and travel writing. This is a section and students sometimes ignore. Don't ignore that. I tell you, please don't ignore it. This is the most important section. Questions can come from any part of the syllabus. You don't know, but any part it can come. Next is Unit 5, Language and Linguistics. Here, don't be afraid of language and linguistics. We are going to make it very simple. We will study important concepts related to language, including phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, and semantics, along with other important areas prescribed in the syllabus. Don't worry about this, okay? Here, understanding is more important than blind memorization. You have to understand it. Memorization will not help you, but you have to understand. Once you understand the concept, question become much easier for you. Now let us dive into Unit 6, English in India. Here we will study the history and development of English in India. Indian English and important developments connected with English studies in the Indian context. So we'll be seeing this. We will also connect this area with Indian writing in the English, okay, wherever relevant. So seventh one is cultural studies. You know about what is cultural studies. Here we move beyond traditional literary study. We will discuss culture, ideology, identity, representation, power, popular culture, and popular important thinkers and concepts. This is what we are going to see. When we study cultural studies and theory, I want you to remember three things in your mind. The first one is, who is the thinker? This is the first question. The second one is, what is the concept? And the third one is, how can that concept appear in a question? This is what you have to understand. So next comes Unit 8, that is literary criticism. So this is one of the most important areas for UGC Net, where you have to understand very deeply. We will begin with the classical criticism and move through different periods. We will study important writers, critics such as Plato, Aristotle, Longinus, Philip Sidney, Dryden, Samuel Johnson, Wordsworth, Coleridge, Matthew Arnold, T.S. Eliot, and many others. In this way, we will be studying a lot of writers. Here, chronology is very important, extremely important. You should know who came before whom and what critic is known for. This is what you have to understand. Then we have to know about the Unit 9, that is literary theory. So this is a section that many students find very difficult, but don't worry, I'll help you. We will study it step by step. That is what I am going to deal you with. We will discuss the important theoretical approaches such as structuralism, post-structuralism, deconstruction, Marxism, feminism, psychoanalysis, post-colonialism, new historicism, and reader response approaches. We will be seeing each and everything in detailed manner. Finally, we have Unit 10, research methods. So here we will study important concepts related to research in English and literary studies, including research methods, documentation, citation, bibliography, plagiarism. You know what is the plagiarism is? Do not copy any other things. That is called plagiarism. So these are the 10 units that we are going to cover during our marathon, that you have to understand. There are 10 topics that we are going to cover in our marathon. Now comes the important question. How are we going to complete such a huge syllabus in just 3 months? Yes, this is a big question, but the answer is very simple. You have to understand, we are not going to study randomly. You have to understand, we are not going to study randomly. Our preparation will follow 4 steps. First one is learn, practice, revise, and test. This is what you are going to do. Okay, first we learn the topic, then we practice the topic, we practice previous year question paper, then we revise. After revising, and finally we test ourselves whether we have read properly, whether we can give the answers in that way. This is going to be our formula for the next entire 90 days. I also want you to maintain two notebooks, one notebook for your regular notes, that is for writing whatever you want, and one separate notebook only for PYQs. Okay, whenever you complete a topic, I want you to connect with PYQ, that is previous year question paper, so that you will be connected. Because UGC Net is not only about knowing literature, you also need to understand how questions are asked. This is what you have to keep it in mind, okay? And please don't collect too many study material, that is not important. One proper source, proper notes, regular revision, and PYQs are much more useful than hundreds of PDFs than your never revised thing, okay? I want you to prepare properly with me. Now your day 2 homework is very simple. Take your notebook and write all 10 units in order, what I have told you before itself. Then mark the units you are comfortable with and the units you find difficult. You do it today itself. Don't worry about the difficult ones. We will do it properly. We are going to work through them together. And tomorrow, day 3, our actually literary journey starts from this day 3. So, we are going to write back to the beginning. That is what? Old English literature. We will discuss the Anglo-Saxon, the characteristics of Old English literature. Okay? Beowulf, Cardamom, Cinewolf, and the important facts you need to remember for UGC Net. So make sure don't miss day 3, and if you are joining with the marathon, comment below that you are going to start the day 2 done. Yeah, and if you haven't watched day 1, go and watch it first and subscribe to Literature to Fluency channel. Thank you.